What if I told you that in exactly 24 hours, the map of the Middle East could be permanently altered by a single order from the Oval Office? We are standing on the edge of the abyss on the 18th of February 2026, and the world is holding its breath as President Trump's nuclear ultimatum to Iran reaches its final terrifying countdown. This isn't just another round of sanctions or diplomatic posturing. This is a total strategic deadline backed by the full weight of the US carrier strike groups moving into the Persian Gulf. While you're watching this, secret flight paths are being cleared and the nuclear red line has officially been crossed. The clock is ticking, the satellites are locked on Fordo and Natanz, and for the first time in history, we are looking at a 4-hour window that could trigger the world's first targeted tactical intervention of the decade. The shadow of the B-21 raider is already over the desert, and the silence from Tehran is the loudest sound in the world right now. Hello friends, welcome to Geo Unseen YouTube channel. Today, we break down Trump's nuclear ultimatum and the 4-hour countdown for Iran. As of early this morning, the 18th of February 2026, the White House has released a declassified intelligence brief confirming that Iran's breakout time to a nuclear weapon has officially dropped to 0. In response, President Trump has bypassed the UN Security Council entirely, issuing a direct surrender of face neutralization order to Tehran. This is the 4-hour countdown that has sent oil prices skyrocketing to $120 a barrel in a matter of hours. This isn't just about bombs. It's about a total blockade of the Strait of Hormuz and a massive deployment of the new B-21 Raider stealth bombers to regional air bases. The world is watching a high-stakes game of nuclear chicken where the first one to blink loses everything. The 2026 landscape has never been this volatile. Reports from the Pentagon suggest that Operation Iron Hammer is already in its pre-launch phase, and the Trump administration has warned all commercial aircraft to clear the airspace over Western Asia immediately. The ultimatum demands the total and verified destruction of all centrifuge cascades within 24 hours, or the US will administratively remove the threat itself. This is a total departure from the slow-moving diplomacy of the past decade. According to leaked memos from the National Security Council, the US has identified 14 critical nodes in Iran's nuclear chain that can be neutralized using high-yield kinetic penetrators without triggering a full-scale ground invasion. But the risk of a regional firestorm is at an all-time high. Israel has already moved its Jericho 3 missiles to high alert status, and the smart money is fleeing the markets, pushing gold to a staggering $5,150 per ounce as of this morning. The bunkers are being prepped, and the entire global order is waiting to see if tomorrow morning brings a new peace or a devastating sunrise. The countdown has begun, and the clock is at 11:59. In the next few hours, the world will find out if Iran will choose survival through total disarmament, or if we are about to witness the most significant military strike of the 21st century. The USS Abraham Lincoln and the USS Gerald R. Ford are currently positioned within striking distance, and their Aegis systems are tracking every single missile battery in the Iranian interior. This is the ultimate test of Trump's maximum pressure too, a gamble where the stakes are not just oil or trade, but the very survival of the global nuclear non-proliferation treaty. If the US strikes, the 2026 economy will face a shockwave that makes the 2008 crash look like a minor correction. We are watching the end of the 4-hour clock, and every second counts. While the world is watching the clock, a secret back-channel 7 negotiation in Switzerland has just collapsed, leaving the B-21 raiders as the only remaining diplomats. We are now deep into the final hours of the 18th of February 2026, and the tension in the Situation Room has reached a boiling point. The Trump administration has just released a secondary directive. Any vessel attempting to block the Strait of Hormuz will be met with total kinetic obliteration. This isn't just a threat to Iran's nuclear facilities anymore. It is a total blockade of Iran's economic lifeblood. As we speak, the price of Brent crude has just leaped past $145 a barrel on the London exchange, and the global shipping industry has effectively hit a standstill. The countdown isn't just about a bomb, it's about who controls the energy pulse of the entire planet for the next 50 years. The intelligence coming out of Tehran is just as chaotic. Sources within the Iranian Revolutionary Guard suggest that the supreme leadership is split between those who want to accept the Trump deal to save the regime and the hardliners who are ready to launch their Khaibar, 4 ballistic missiles at regional targets. If Iran blinks, they lose their status as a regional power forever. If they fight, they face a $5 billion an hour military machine that has been waiting for this exact moment since 2024. The US Cyber Command has already initiated Phase Alpha, reportedly disabling several Iranian air defense radars along the coast. This is the invisible war that happens before the first explosion, a digital decapitation designed to make the actual strike quick and surgical. But here is the detail that the mainstream media is missing. The nuclear ultimatum is a direct message to the entire BRICS alliance. By threatening a 4-hour nuclear strike, Trump is telling Russia and China that the era of strategic patience is over. On the 18th of February 2026, the Kremlin issued a formal status red warning, and the Chinese yuan has dipped to its lowest point against the dollar as investors realize that a war in the Persian Gulf would destroy the global supply chain. This is madman theory diplomacy at its peak. Trump is betting that the fear of a total regional meltdown will force Iran to dismantle its centrifuges under the eyes of American inspectors, bypassing the UN entirely. The risk of a mistake is now at an all-time high, with the USS Gerald R. Ford and the USS Abraham Lincoln operating on launch on warning status. Any accidental radar ping or misidentified drone could trigger a firestorm that consumes the Middle East. According to a leaked Pentagon memo from this morning, the B-21 raiders are already loitering in stealth hold positions just outside Iranian airspace. They are invisible, they are armed with mountain buster munitions, and they are waiting for the clock to hit zero. The world is watching a 4-hour countdown, where the prize is total dominance and the penalty is a global depression. Quick question for the Geo Unseen crew. Do you think Trump will actually pull the trigger if the countdown hits zero? Or is this the ultimate art of the deal bluff to force a surrender? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because the next 12 hours will define the rest of our lives. The clock is ticking, the radars are hot, and the world is holding its breath. As the clock bleeds down to the final 4 hours, the silence coming out of the Oval Office is more terrifying than any speech. President Trump has reportedly stopped taking calls from European leaders, and the nuclear football is active. This isn't just about a 4-hour ultimatum, it is the final act of a decade-long drama. While the UN is desperately trying to pass a ceasefire resolution that Washington has already promised to veto, the B-21 raiders have reportedly entered the kill chain phase. The world is about to find out if the ultimate deal is signed in ink or in fire. The clock is currently at 11:58 p.m., the 18th of February 2026. According to high-level leaks from the Pentagon, Operation Iron Hammer is no longer a plan, it is a live mission. The 4-hour window was never just a threat, it was a logistical countdown to position the most lethal strike package in human history. As of this hour, the price of gold has shattered all records, hitting a mind-bending $5,200 per ounce on the spot market, as the global financial system prepares for a total energy decoupling. If the missiles fly, the Strait of Hormuz will be closed, and 20% of the world's oil will be trapped behind a wall of fire. The 2026 landscape is now a binary choice. If the B-21S drop their payloads on Fordo, we are looking at a global supply chain collapse that will last for years. But if the Iranian regime blinks and accepts the ultimatum, Trump will have achieved the single greatest foreign policy victory since the end of the Cold War, all without a single American soldier stepping foot on Iranian soil. This is the Trump doctrine in its final form. A 4-hour deadline, a massive military shadow, and a checkbook waiting on the other side. As we wait for the final second of the countdown, the question isn't just about Iran, it's about who is next. If this ultimatum works, will the same 2 4-hour clock be applied to other global flashpoints? We are watching the birth of a new era where diplomacy is dead and the deadline is the only language left. Make sure you hit that like button to stay updated as this 2 4-hour crisis reaches its climax. The world is changing every second, and we are here to witness the fallout. For more deep dives into the 2026 reset, subscribe Geo Unseen YouTube channel. The clock is hitting 0. Stay sharp, stay informed, and we will catch you in the next one. Peace from Geo Unseen.